5 witnesses have taken the stand today. Today is officially day one for the Karmelo Anthony trial. The prosecutors and defense did their opening statements. They were given around 20 minutes each. The prosecutor got up and basically said that Karmelo Anthony brought a knife to a high school track meet. He then provoked somebody that he did not know and put that knife into that person's chest, their heart, and took that person's life. Now, he also talked about the whole fact of tent culture at track meets and at high school events, saying that it's looked at as like a locker room or a safe haven to make sure your items are not stolen. They also said that the coach had asked Austin to step up and be a leader, and that's why Austin approached Karmelo and asked him to leave from the tent. He also told the jurors that they were going to see video showing this incident take place, that he did this and it was unjustified. He also mentioned the fact that after this happened, that Karmelo ran away, tried to exit the area, but he was apprehended, and that's how he got in police custody. Now, when it came to the defense opening statements, they started to talk about Karmelo's grades, who he was, where he was from, and how he was brought up. They mentioned the fact that Karmelo entered the stadium and it was raining. He saw somebody that he knew under that tent because for whatever reason, his school did not have a tent. So when he saw that person, he began to talk to them and he sat down. A few minutes later, Austin and his twin brother approached him, and they had some friends with them, but the two twin brothers were telling him that he had to leave the area. And he was very confused because he is not sure why this was such a big deal. And so as Austin was telling him that he had to leave, he was like, listen, as long as nobody touches me, we're cool. And that's when he reached his hand in his bag. Austin then told him that I know you don't have nothing in there. They stated that everybody in the area started to stand up at this time like there was about to be a fight. And that's when Austin shoved Karmelo, and that's when the stabbing took place. Now, they did mention the fact that Karmelo is 5'8" and weighs around 135 pounds, and Austin and his twin brother are both over 6 feet tall, weighing over 200 pounds as well. Now, they also brought up the fact that when Karmelo ran off, he did not try to get rid of the weapon and he did not try to exit. He literally bypassed the exit and ran onto the track and stayed with the coach until the police got there. And once the police were there, he was asking, was he okay? Is everything all right? And he started to tell that Austin shoved him and that, he was really just trying to defend himself. The first witness to take the stand was Mark Porter. He's a forensic video analyst. He started to talk about the video's quality, said it was good quality, it was in 4K. At this point, the jurors have a screen in front of them so that they can watch the video. As they're watching this stuff, they're describing exactly what's going on in the scene. You can see people entering. They were identifying people. They identified Karmelo as walking up towards the tent. He stopped for a second and then he sat down under it. They also identified when the Metcalf brothers entered the tent, and they also pointed out that it was a shove that happened, and right after that, people started to run. Now, they said that shove happened moments later. You can see Karmelo Anthony running down the stadium. He falls towards the bottom and he runs to a fenced area. So then the prosecutor plays this video. It's about 15 minutes and 20 seconds long, and in this video, it starts off with Austin and his brother entering the stadium. At the 3-minute and 24-second mark, Karmelo is entering the stadium. It then goes to 7 minutes and 49 seconds, and at this point, no real movement is being made. But at the 7-minute and 57 point, you can see that people were now starting to pay attention to what was going on under that tent. The video continued to play, showing Karmelo as he was leaving the stadium, as he went to that fenced area. It also showed him as he was being handcuffed and as he was being escorted out. The prosecutors did point out that in 15 minutes and 20 seconds, Austin Metcalf had lost his life. Now, the defense got up for cross-examinations and they brought up the fact that there were a lot of still images and that this was recorded from a distance, so you could not tell if there was any mouth or head movements. And the video analyst agreed he could not tell if an argument had taken place, but he did bring up the fact that it was raining. You could see people with umbrellas. You could see that Karmelo went to the tent and he went and sat next to someone. He was asked about the exact time when the incident was supposed to have taken place. He said that he could see that somebody was forcefully shoved. Now, the defense attorney did bring up that Karmelo did not try to escape. He did not go towards the exit gates, that he did run from the scene, but he did not try to exit the area, even though he had the opportunity to do so. And the analyst stated that there was not a struggle and he did not resist arrest. Now, the second witness to take the stand was Robert Starr. He is the head track coach and assistant football coach. He was the position coach for Austin and Hunter. They both played linebacker. He said he did ask a few of the players on the team to go ahead and be leaders that day. Austin was one of those people. He needed help getting the tents off and some other things. He said for their track culture, you do not go under somebody else's tent. He said you have snacks, their valuables, Hormones are all over the place. He also brought up the fact that you do not bring weapons to school events, that it is prohibited. He talked about at the time when this incident happened, he heard a commotion. He ran over, and at that point, he seen the trainers working on Austin. Austin was purple and had a hole in his chest. Now, they're saying at this point, the courtroom, he was in tears. The family was in tears. It was very emotional at this time. Now, he starts to talk about Hunter. He said Hunter pointed at Karmelo and said, do something. And that's when he went and approached Karmelo, who was standing there with his track coaches. He said that when he got to Karmelo, he told him that he wasn't leaving, and Karmelo was just standing there. He did not seem hysterical to him. He also stated that Karmelo Anthony coaches did ask him to leave from over there. However, they did tell him that they did not know that he was a coach, and that's the reason why they told him that. He also stated that he went back over to where Hunter was. Everybody was kneeling down and praying. He went beside Hunter and prayed with Hunter, and he said he is still really close to him to this day. Now, the defense started their cross-examination. They started off asking the coach about the whole tent culture, and the coach stated that it is not the norm to just be under somebody else's tent. However, he do see athletes from time to time under other schools' tents to talk to other people, but he did state that he is not sure if Karmelo's school had a tent on that day. Now, the defense then asked him about an incident that happened at a track meet back in March, and he stated that yes, Austin and Hunter were both put off of the track team, and it was because they left after their event was over, and he wanted to get their attention. Now, he stated when the defense was questioning him that when he approached Karmelo, when Karmelo was standing there with his coaches, that he did seem upset and he looked like he was about to cry. Now, the third person to take the stand was Tiffany Whiteaker. She is an athletic trainer from Memorial High School. She just completed her 8th year. She said on the date of the incident, it was a lot of confusion because there was no official weather delay. However, the scoreboard showed that it was one. So some people went back to their buses, some people were under tents, and some people were on the fields. Now, she said when this incident took place, there was a lot of commotion. Her and her partner walked towards the field. Another trainer went to the stadium area. She said once she was on the field, she called out to a student by the name of Hunter and asked what was going on. Hunter said he stabbed him and threw the blade into the bleachers. He then pointed at Karmelo Anthony. She said at that point she did call it in to Heritage High School coach and let them know what was going on, and then her and her partner went to the stadium to give aid. She said once they got there, they both started to do CPR. She was rendering CPR by giving breath. Her partner was doing chest compressions. She said he started to regain a little bit of color, and it gave hope, but it was false hope once she saw the injury. She stated that she did recognize him once she arrived on the scene. Now, the defense did get up to do a cross-examination. It was pretty short. They asked about Karmelo Anthony during this time. She stated that Karmelo Anthony did not run. He did stay near the track, and that he looked very upset and he was crying. Now, the fourth witness to take the stand was Heritage High School head football coach Vincent Hooper. He stated that Karmelo was brought to him by another coach, and the other coach asked him not to let Karmelo leave. He stated that once Karmelo got over, he told him, he put his hands on me and I stabbed him. He said he then told Karmelo, if he dies, your life has changed forever. And Karmelo responded back saying, but he's not going to die. He said that he then told him, but if he does. And at that point, Karmelo really started to break down. He said he then hugged him at the time because it seems like it was not registering to him what exactly was going on. He stated that he then started to tell him that they saw Austin laying in a puddle of blood, and that's when he thinks things started to register for him. Now, the defense did get up to do a cross-examination. It was very short. They just asked the questions about did Karmelo try to run and what was his state. He said that Karmelo was very upset, he was crying, and that he did not attempt to run. The final witness was Joshua Rebmann. He is an Army veteran. He is also the current defensive coordinator for Liberty High School. At the time of the incident, he was the throwing coach. Now, he stated when this incident took place, he was 20 feet away. He said he heard the commotion. He saw that Austin was injured. He went over, took off his jacket, and he began to apply pressure. Now, he said that Hunter had become so hysterical that he had to move him from the area. Now, at this point, the prosecutors played a 911 phone call. This call was not made by Joshua. It was made by another coach. That coach was letting them know where they were inside of the stadium. They also were saying that there was an Army veteran rendering aid to Austin at the time. Now, they say on this 911 call, you can hear Austin take his last breath. You can also hear people yelling out, come on, there's a lot of blood, and he's not breathing. Now, during this time of testimony, they're saying the family is very upset. They then show the jurors a picture of the first responders giving aid to Austin at the time. Now, this picture was not shown to the gallery. They then pulled out the jacket that this man used to put pressure on him. Now, Joshua also stated that when he heard Austin gasp for air, he knew that that meant that his brain was trying to get oxygen and that this was not a good sign, but he did not want people to lose hope, so he did not say anything. He knew that Austin was gone. Now, the cross-examination for this was also short. They basically just got up and asked him about the Centennial High School, and he said that Centennial High School did not have a tent on the day of this incident. Y'all, court was adjourned after this. They will start back up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Things are moving pretty fast. Tomorrow, I do hope to do 2 smaller videos so that the video is not so long.